Hey guys, Stephen Cox here, and today I thought it would be kind of fun to go through and name my Ubase collection. So this is actually an idea that one of you guys came up with. So Seth, if you're out there, if you're already logged on, say hey. But I know that you mentioned in a comment that you liked the name scheme that Kala had for their different Ubase models, and then you were saying that a lot of people name their instruments, and I have not named any of my Ubases. I don't even think I've named my upright bass, honestly. I used to have one that there was a blue upright bass that ended up getting dubbed Cookie Monster, so that was kind of fun. And then the 6-string Warrior, I did the obvious thing there and named it Xena. For any of you guys that ever saw Xena Warrior Princess, yeah, just a logical thing to do there. But I have not come up with any names for any of my Ubasses. So that includes the one that I put the flat wound strings on, the fretless one. Obviously the Wanderer model, the Journeyman model, and then the Exotic Mahogany model. So what I was thinking might be kind of cool was to just play through a little bit of something, just kind of demonstrate the personality of each instrument before we try naming them. So that's kind of the goal here. And then let you guys kind of have some input in naming them. So I just thought that was kind of funny. But real quick, before we get into that, if you like videos like these, I know this one's kind of silly, just go ahead and hit the like button. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. But I wanted to talk about kind of the thing we stumbled across that's kind of obvious now, but Kala has a name scheme for their bass ukuleles. So one of them, I mean, really the main thing is just, I think it's based on the portability of the instruments. So because this is called the Journeyman, because the other models are the Wanderer, the Nomad, the Scout, I mean, any of them that aren't really named for the wood that they're made from are, at least on the lower priced end, are really named after the idea of like wandering or traveling or something of that nature. So I think the whole point in that is just that a lot of people compare the U-bass to the upright bass. And so it's kind of like you have a portable option. It's not exactly the same, but a lot of upright players might want to travel, like if they went on tour, with something smaller than an upright bass, rather than having to either figure out how to ship one or to borrow basses as they go into town, which some upright players do. So I think the reason that they have this travel-oriented thing is just these are small enough to travel on a plane with pretty easily. You know, you don't even necessarily have to check in a bag. It might fit. It doesn't quite fit under a seat. I've tried to do it before in an airplane, but you might be able to do it as carry-on up above. But anyway, that's kind of the idea. So if you guys have any suggestions, go ahead and put them in the chat. We're going to try to come up with a name for this one first. So this is the Journeyman. And I'm going to turn the low end down because I know that's probably distorting a little bit. In fact, I'll do it on the bass. So I'm going to make a little jam and just let you guys have some input on there. So far, I don't see anybody on the chat. So if you guys are there, please say hey or something. And we'll just kind of go from there. So here we go. Make a little loop pedal jam. You guys hear that okay? All right, so that's the journeyman. So I still haven't seen anybody in the chat. I just want to make sure that the chat's actually working. Let me know a couple things here. One, how is the sound? Can you hear anything? Is it too loud? Is it too quiet? Is it distorting? Is it coming through cleanly? Just let me know. In fact, I'm not even sure it's coming through at all. So let me know if you can. Just type something. And I'm going to go ahead and get the extra pedal for the loop pedal, because right now I'd have to double click it to stop it, which is why I faded out that one. So all I'm using for that extra pedal is my piano sustain pedal. So let me grab that real quick. So these are fairly cheap. So if I just connect something like this to the Boss RC1 looper, then it turns it into like a 2-pedal looper kind of. So I can stop with one click instead of having to double click it. And to delete the loop, I can just hold it down. I've noticed that I've had to reverse the polarity to make it work though, for what that's worth. All right. Either you guys are strangely quiet tonight or something is wrong with the chat. So I don't know how you'd let me know if something was wrong with the chat. I guess I'll check really quick on here and just kind of log on to the live stream myself. It's kind of fun to do sometimes. But it sounds to me like y'all can hear me because I see some likes on there. So I'm thinking the chat just might be delayed or something. Let's see what it says over here. Okay. But either way, what do you guys think this should be named? If we can't figure out how to make it work here, maybe we can find a way to comment on some video or something. But let me know. Let me go to my shorts channel and then try to watch this live. Let's see what happens. Stephen Coxbase. Sorry, no, this is like the most boring part of the stream. There we go. Hey, there we are. I'm live. Where is the live feed? All right. This is Kyle. Whoa. We've got an advertisement about Kyle. I don't know what Kyle's doing, but there's an advertisement. All right. So I see now that the chat is working on here. So I will probably be commenting to you guys. For whatever reason, it's not working on the computer. So I will be commenting with you from the Bass Shorts on a Short Bass channel on here. So Robert says, hey, Robert. And Kamakane. Okay. Sandra. Hey, good to see you. Seth's on here. And yes, Seth, I went with your idea. He said it's fun to name stuff. You hear everything fine. And good. Everybody can see everybody else on the chat. So it's just on my end that it's kind of messed up. So here I am watching myself talk to you guys. Okay, so far we've got one vote for Betty. Don't reverse the polarity. All right, so anyone else have any ideas other than Betty? And why Betty out of all the names? Is it something about the red color? Is it just the classic vibe? Does it make you think of Betty Boop or something? So just let me know, and I'll just say hey to you guys over here. Yeah, because I'm over here. It just never loaded the live chat. Weird. Any suggestions other than Betty? Let's see. I'm just doing this to let you guys know that that's my second channel. Wilma. Okay, so we got one for Wilma. So Wilma or Betty. So far we've got two names there. And then Robert named his Red. Good name. I could see why you'd name it Red. Okay. So I guess I'll play one more. So Seth says, yeah, Betty Boop vibe. To me, I was almost thinking that if it were the black one, that the Betty Boop vibe would be very strong on it. But I'm not quite sure that with the red, if that makes me kind of go there or not. If I had a black one, and then WC feels it low red. Radcliffe, that's a cool name. I kind of like that one. So what I might do with these names is I might write down your suggestions and then make it a poll for each one. Because I don't know, it's like we're talking about naming my babies, right? So we gotta give them good strong names. So we'll see. But I'll make a note on each one of these. Charlotte, that's a good one too. So far we've got strong female vibes, I guess. Maybe all of them. Maybe we'll come up with female names for every single one. I'm not sure, but we've got Betty, Wilma. Let's see. Radcliffe. I guess we do have one male. Charlotte. And then Robert asks, what's my upright's name? That one actually right now does not have a name, but I used to own a blue upright bass that was dubbed Cookie Monster because it was blue. But that was a long time ago. If you go to my old channel, which was Fuwah7, FOOWAH7, that one is featured on there on one or two videos, I think. It's hard to tell that it's blue because the lighting was kind of bad, but yeah, I used to own a blue upright bass a long time ago. So this one so far, yeah, I don't really have a name for the upright either. I think I actually did dub it Curvy Girl one time, so maybe that's a name. But it's kind of like a nickname more than an actual name. So there you go. So I will play one more on here just to give any final name ideas on there, and maybe I'll write these down just so I have them. Let's do that. I'll write them down on my calendar. Why not? Names, notes, and numbers. So we're making notes about the names we can potentially do there. So that works. Use the planner. So we've got, I'm going to say Journeyman. We've got Betty was the first one. Let's see what we got. I think Wilma was the second. If I missed any, let me know in the chat if you saw that I missed one. So yours is named Red. I'm not going to name mine the same, so we have different ones. Radcliffe. All right, and then let's see what else we got. Charlotte and Red Rider. So it's kind of fun. Okay, so that's the Journeyman. So I'm going to play one more just to give you like final things. I feel like if I play a certain vibe on each one, then you might want to name it based on that vibe. So I've got to play something totally different now. So let's see what I can do here. I'll turn the treble down. Forgot to do the first few. Heathcliff. Okay, so there we go. We've got a whole bunch of names, a whole bunch of ideas for that one. It's time to move on. It's time to wander on. All right, there are going to be some bad puns in this, I think. Okay, in this live stream, so bear with me. So I have a kind of idea for this one. This one's very plain to me, right? Because it doesn't have a rosette. It doesn't have a border around it or anything. So I'm thinking, the name Plain Jane. Maybe we can maybe Jane. So I'm gonna put that on the list, but you guys got to put another one on there. So what do you guys think for the Wanderer? And let's see. I guess I'll add Heathcliff to the other one since he said that one before we close the thing, and now we'll move on to the Wanderer. Make sure I'm spelling it right. Frankly, Charlotte, I don't give a dang for that name. That's funny. That's pretty fun. Wandering Wanda or Wondering Wanda? Let's do the Wanderer. So I'm just going to go with like the shorter version of the name. So if we do that, so I'm thinking Jane or Wanda so far. Both of those are good. Wanda's a good one. I think that one goes really good because it's a Wanderer. Wanda the Wanderer. I kind of like that. Sweet Baby Jane. Yeah. I mean, still Jane. You can call it. You can give the extra names if you want to, but you could say that that's why it's Jane. Give it multiple reasons for being Jane. So we got some good one. James Twang. I'll put that on there. Okay. So we got some names. We got some names on there. Hopefully they're all coming through in real time-ish on the chat. All right, I think I've got it in tune. So we're gonna give the Wanderer his or her shot, their shot. I guess I can use they pronouns. Woody. Okay. Add Woody to the list, and I'll play something. Okay. want more high end on that. Oh, we're gonna have some buzz in the loop. That's okay. That buzz. So you got Woody and Buzz in there. I'm feeling Toy Story themes right now. Back to back, too. I'm feeling, I think Wanda is the best suggestion I've seen so far. Wanda the Wanderer. I kind of like that one. Just kind of read the word Flintstones. Why not? Ooh, the intonation's bad. There we go. Totally sounds like a fade out song. Cool. So that was a lot of fun. Sometimes I just get inspired. I saw a couple other things on there. I'm mostly feeling the. I'm still thinking the Wanda was my favorite one on that one. But let me write these down just to have them. See if I missed any. So yeah. So Seth says, "What's with all the refugee names?" Yeah, and I was kind of saying I kind of explained that earlier. It's totally just the fact that they're portable. Right? They're so portable, you can take them with you anywhere. So they wander places. They journey, man. I don't know. They, the Scout, like all these other things. It's kind of like scouting out what you're doing. So they do have a lot of them, but I think that's why they named them that way. So just to kind of go back and mention that. Rich. Okay, so we got Rich on there too. I guess I missed that one last time. So Buzz, Rich. Leaning towards Wanda. So far we got 2 votes for Wanda. I'm thinking about making a poll for each one of these. So maybe like throughout the week, I can do one for each one. I like Wanda the Wanderer or Wandering Wanda. Like both of those are pretty good. Wandering Wanda, Wandering Wanda, Wanda the Wanderer. All those are nice. So I'm going to go ahead and close the votes off. We've got 6 names for that one and 6 names for the other one. So I guess that's the goal. The first 6 that I see that I think are kind of fitting, we'll go with. All right. Clearing my throat. Let's see what we got. Okay, this one's within reach, so we'll do that. By the way, the strings have still held up. I haven't done much playing on it, but whatever we choose to name it, them, her, whatever you want to call this one. Hopefully that battery is actually staying in there. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Making a loop with this one might be kind of interesting. Maharishi. Is that for this one? All right. Ooh, I went way too far. Don't want to do that with this neck. So this one did not stay in tune the best, but it's okay. Ow. All right. So it's already gone flat. So once I get it in tune, I'm going to try to play one really quickly with it while you come up with names. So anything after, okay, I'm not sure what the nope was for. So we'll start naming this one at this point. So whatever I see on the chat after this, we'll go towards this one. Wow, that's a very different tone than was coming out of the instrument. All right, going to delete that. Here we go. I'm not even going to try to add a, oh my goodness. You know what? That one's just so out of time. I'm going to do the drum beat first. Okay, we'll try it again. All right. Let's see what kind of names we've come up with. Any names? Any names at all? Let's see. Baby is in baby base. WB small. I think we got to come up with some more names. What do you guys think for this one? Let's look at it all closely. It's got the flat wounds. To me, it's got this really like nice classy vibe to it, kind of like the upright bass. It's kind of jazzy. Let's see. Almost get it to line up with it. Let's see. You can tell it has the cutaway, but still. You get the idea. So what are you guys thinking? I'm thinking something to do with like sliding, since it's kind of like fretless, you know. Got Ella. I like Ella. She's one of my favorite singers, if you're talking about Ella Fitzgerald, to give it that jazzy kind of vibe. So this bass, I'm just going to call it the fretless. Just as far as categories, while I'm writing the names down underneath there. For those that missed some of the other ones, these are the names we came up with. I'm going to let you guys vote on it after the fact. So we got Ella. I really like that one. Let's see what else we got. Rod, because it doesn't have a truss rod. That's kind of funny. Okay. Let's do, what did you say? There was Baby on there. I still think we can do some more good ones. I think Ella was pretty good, and Baby was pretty good. I'm not wanting to name this one Rod. It just seems too classy. Rod sounds like a mechanic or something to me. So Rod sounds like it would go for a I don't know. Of course, then again, this is kind of like the most modified bass that I have, right? Because obviously I cut the saddle on this one. I changed the strings to the flat wounds, and there's toilet paper here to keep it from rattling. So I don't know. Maybe that still works. We'll see. Duke is in Duke Ellington. So far, my favorites are Duke and Ella, because I'm feeling kind of a jazzy vibe from this one. It's just classy in general, and Duke's pretty classy, so I kind of like that one. Hearing some sounds outside. It's almost like they're inside. That's weird. So let's see. Earl is another one, and Satchmo. So now we're just going like full jazz with this one. So I'm just going to write those two down, Earl and Satchmo. If I had to pick right now, it would be really close between Duke and Ella. Just depends on what we're feeling, a female name or a male name. Duke of Earl. Bent, call, Holmes. I don't know. The neck is bent. Call it Holmes. Okay, so I'm feeling. Let's see. We had one more name on here that I forgot. Satchmo. That's the other one I want to write down. So I guess what I'm getting is about 6 names per each one, and then I'm going to get you guys to vote on it. So that's kind of my thinking right now. So we're going to go ahead and switch it up. This is the last of the U bases. The exotic mahogany with the round wound strings. This is the one that started it all and is still missing the back plate, which is probably in the case somewhere. Because the back plate rattles once the magnetization gets a little bit loose. I don't know if they all do that, but this one did. I feel like I should be able to hear that. Oh, maybe it's just too quiet. Yeah, there we go. I just had the volume turned down barely too much. Stays in tune pretty well. I'm barely having to do any adjustments. Oh, I might add Mingus to that. Getting all the jazz greats. The only thing is, I think with the polls, I can only have like 5 choices. So I may have to get you guys to vote out at least one of the choices on each one, because I feel like when I was doing the strings on there, I think I was able to do 5 choices. Whatever I did for the strings was the maximum that you could put on a poll. So it was either 4 or 5 choices. So we might have to narrow them down a little bit more. But that's cool. So now we've got the exotic mahogany. So let's just go on to the exotic mahogany at this point. All right, so do we have any names for the exotic mahogany with round wound strings so far? By the way, these strings are like 3.5 years old, getting close to 4. So let's see what we got. So far, no names showing up on my end. So yeah, you might be hearing a little like sitar kind of a sound. Obviously, because I'm doing a lot of things against one string. So I'm like letting notes ring out against another string. family members. Is that what's going on, Robert? So we got one name for it. So Papa. Sounds right. Exotic Papa. And I'm going to say this back to back again. That sounds weird. All right. Sorry. So any other names coming out? So far we just got one for this one. You want to know that song? Ginger. So the thing about ginger is I would think that would go better for the journeyman because it's red. Personally. Jamie like Jamerson. Okay. Like James Jamerson, but okay. It's funny. The one that I think sounds the most like Jamerson's tone is probably the Wanderer because of the strings. This one you can also slap. So. Okay. Say okay with the funk. Okay, I'm going to add Graham as one of the names. Let's see. To me, the ginger one might be too confusing just because of the other one. Coco. Okay, I'll put that one down. Fink. Okay. You know, I'm thinking like you said Fink instead of funk. Well, okay. We'll put Fink down. That's pretty funny. Maharishi. Okay. I guess I'll add it. So that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll probably just go with those because I don't see anybody else posting. So the only thing is when we have 6 of each, I don't think I can do that on the polls. So what I may have to do is put one of the names in the comments and just let you guys know. You have to look in the comments. If you want to vote for that name, you just give it a like on the comments. So I think that's what I'll do for these. Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead. By the way, the channel that I'm chatting with you guys on here, like if you see it come up, is Bass Shorts on a Short Bass. That's the channel that has all the shorts on it, which right now it only has 3 videos on it. But I'm planning to add some more short videos to that. So stay tuned on there, and maybe I'll Maybe I'll take some stuff from here and put it on there. Who knows? So I'm just going to say, thanks for the suggestions. All right. DCAT, you weren't suggesting Fink, you're just liking the typo. Well, it ended up being on there. It looks like nobody else put another name on there. Did I write Ginger down? I just think Ginger might be too confusing, personally. So Coco, okay, sounds a little bit exotic. Cool. So yeah, the bass shorts on a short bass. That's my other channel. If you guys are interested in short content, more like, TikTok and Instagram and that kind of stuff, I'm doing that on here too. Yeah, I'm thinking Fink might be kind of cool too. We'll see what other people think. I'll probably put it, got to link it over to the Patreon somehow so that my patrons see it as well. Oh, that's weird. I got left the volume down. Ooh, the double click. That double click's gonna bug me. All right, the double click was getting annoying, so I had to fade it out. It was cool otherwise, just that one extra drum beat that didn't quite hit where it went to click. All right. So thank you guys so much for giving all those names. Got a couple other questions for you. Which one of these basses do you like the best? If you were to rate them, or you don't have to rate them, I guess you could just say which one you'd get if you had the choice or something. It's got the exotic mahogany, of course, the journeyman. Let's see what else. The Wanderer and the No Name brand. All right. I guess this one needs to be named too. This one's an ukulele and not a U-bass, but why not? Probably won't name it on the channel or anything, but this is a low G ukulele, so it definitely needs to be tuned. This tuner's not the best, to be honest. It's a little delayed. So far, people like the Wanderer the best. All right. So we've got two people saying the Wanderer, one person saying the Journeyman, and Seth says the Fretless. It says Xandra says the Journeyman, and then Elvira. I guess we were talking about naming this one. That's just my guess. So Gemma, sure. Pebbles. I guess you're going with the Flintstones thing all the way through, huh? Was it There we go. All right. So James actually rated them. He said 1, the Journeyman, 2, the No Name. So I guess you like the Cutaway and the F-hole design, and then 3, the Wanderer. So nobody likes the exotic mahogany the best, I guess. It's interesting because out of all of those, I think that one's the best constructed instrument. It's the highest price range of the ones that I have, and it does play the best, I'd say, out of all of them. However, the round wound strings maybe aren't my favorite, but I think just the construction of the instrument, how well it stays in tune, and just all things like that, I kind of like that one. So Elvira says, I hooked up my bass ukulele to a Rockmaster 2014. Just learned some Joy Division. Fun. Sounds awesome. All right. Very cool. It's weird watching myself on here because there's like a delay. So like, watch this. I'm gonna hold this up to here, and then now you're gonna see me hold the phone up to there right about now. It's like watching the past. So if you're wondering how much of a delay there is from me saying this to you getting it, it's probably somewhere around there. So even though it's live, it's not exactly live. Sorry. Just in case you guys are wondering. Yeah. So this is kind of a cool one. It's a low G. It's an Islander AT4 EQ. So I like it. It's been pretty good to me so far. It's the newest one of the collection, I guess. And then, of course, I have my Kala Ebony tenor ukulele. You guys have probably seen this one too. What about this one? What would you guys name this one? Let's see what else we got. I hook my bass up. Okay, there's the... I meant exotic mahogany for slapping your funk, but the journeyman rules. Okay, cool. Seth says it's like a screen in Spaceballs. So when does this part of the movie happen? Now. Ooh, so I can't remember all that quote, but that's a good movie. Anyway. Da, da, da. So Tigger, because it's got the stripes like a tiger. Okay. I can dig that. It's only buzzing because of my playing. It doesn't actually buzz that much. Cool. So let's say, but you can only play bouncy, happy songs on it. No, I'm not going to only play bouncy, happy songs on it. I like doing sad kind of sounding songs or kind of mysterious sounding songs on the ukulele too. And actually, I wrote some on here that aren't all super happy. Curious if any other watching play both uke and U-bass. I think a lot of people on here do, if they're still on here. There were a few that do. So Lola does. Improving muting techniques are proving more effective than raps. Yeah, I do think that muting is a huge thing. I know it's kind of random, but yes, I agree with that. That muting is very important. And raps help, but they don't solve the problem. How about calling it the Big Kahuna? That sounds Hawaiian. I guess to me the Islander maybe could have that name. I don't know though. They're both tenors, but that one has a lower G, so that would like take up more range than this one does. Kind of reminds me of the end of the Bach cello prelude. I don't think I know how to play that on here though. What was that? Okay, that's about as far as I get. Yeah, but it's fun trying to do things that you can do on one instrument and trying to like transpose them into C and play them really fast on another instrument. It doesn't always work though. All right, I don't have a U bass like those, but I do have a solid body version from Hadean. Good, those are cool. I still have yet to get a solid body. One day I will get a solid body. I'm not sure if it'll be a Kala or if it'll be one of the cheaper brands, but one day I will. And then Robert says bass, but occasionally uke. That makes sense since I know you've been to Uke Republic. All right. Oh, very cool. So Elvira's dad plays uke as well, baritone ukulele. So that's a lot like just the bottom, the thinner four strings on the guitar, basically is the same tuning. Yeah, with uke, I like doing a lot of just hammer-ons, pull-offs, and finger-picking kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Oh, cool. So D, I guess you have a. That's cool that you have a daughter that plays both ukulele and bass. That's awesome. That's kind of how I ended up doing U-bass, right? I played bass a lot. I did ukulele a little bit, and then I was like holding out on the U-bass for a long time. And then my buddy Andrew at Rock Class 101, he really wanted some U-bass lessons on his site, so he got me to get this. The idea was he bought it so that I could and I would pay him back by doing lessons for his site. So I did that, and then when I had it, I just got kind of interested in like the day or the day after I bought it, I ended up arranging Canon for it and uploading that to YouTube. And it's just like I just realized, oh, people really like this, and I really like playing on it. So that's kind of how it happened for me with the U-bass. And I wanted one with rubber strings after having the metal strings for so long, so I just wanted that variety. So I got the Wanderer, then I got the Journeyman, and now they have flat wound strings, which I think are the best middle ground. Although the round wounds are much brighter. Both are cool. Really, all the strings are cool for different things. The round wounds are also better for slap. I just like the size of the bass ukulele. I knock over too much stuff with a regular bass. Yeah, I know the feeling. Sometimes I knock things over carrying the bass around, especially the upright. Gosh, it has some dings on the top. Really, they all do for me. So Seth says, I know, call the uke Hannah, Hanahu, which means encore. Wow, some strong opinions about strings on here. Rubber, I'm going to say rubber or nothing, but that's an interesting thing. I think they all work really well. The biggest advantages to the rubber strings are, really just that they have that more traditional sound. It sounds closer to the upright. They're easier on your hands. So like if you have any kind of hand issues or something, you barely have to push down to play those. So it's kind of nice for anybody that used to play bass, but set it down because of the damage it does to your wrists over decades. But yeah, that's kind of an interesting take, and I totally understand on that. Well, guys, do you have any questions or anything? Final thoughts on this? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll give you guys a couple more minutes or something just to see if you have any other questions. And I'm going to try something while I do that I'm not sure will really work that well, because at some point I have to unplug something in order to change instruments, but we'll see what happens. I think I clicked that too fast. There's no good way to do this. I don't think it's going to work. No, I don't have a way to do it. I'll just play over the top of it. Fretless while going out of tune, but oh well. So thank you guys once again for tuning in. I'm going to read through and just see what we got here. So, favorite pedals. Right now, mainly this Boss RC1 loop pedal. I don't really use a whole lot of other pedals. I have a Digitech, combination pedal that has a whole bunch of things in there. I don't know, one of the ones where you can go through the bank and pick out whatever song out of the sound bank you have there. So I can do like delays and mix distortions and things of that nature. But I don't really use a lot of pedals other than that. There are a few that I might get in the future, but I'm just going to kind of leave that open-ended for now because I don't really have a good answer for that. Carter says, been thinking about getting a cheaper Kala and was wondering if it was worth it. I just did a review on the Kala Nomad, and I liked the Nomad. I thought it played really well. I really like the Bamboo. If you can spend a little bit extra to get the Bamboo, to me, that one was really nice. Okay. And then Seth says, what happened to your blue upright bass? I ended up selling that on Craigslist. So I bought it on Craigslist and I sold it on Craigslist a couple years later. Someone in Chattanooga drove down to Atlanta to pick it up. Chord question. Strummed like a guitar chord or plucked? You can do either. I'm not sure the context of what you're saying there. Because in this loop that I'm doing right now, I'm kind of doing a little bit of both, where I'm plucking things at the same time, some of the time, and then doing some things in between out of a chord after that. But I'm not quite sure what you're asking there. When you play them all together, it's called a blocked chord. And when you play them separately, you're arpeggiating the notes. Okay. Yeah, so Seth said it's worth it, and I think you're talking about the inexpensive Kalas. Yeah, so I did 2 review videos kind of recently on the Bamboo, and the cheapest one is the Kala Nomad. That was last Tuesday's video, so definitely check that one out. Okay, no questions from D. Laurie says, go for it, Carter. Cool. And Elvira's got a programmable Zoom B4. Very cool. Yeah, so the Digitech I have is actually sitting under this desk. I never use it. I just need like one extra guitar cable to be able to use that with everything else. That's the one that I have. BP80, I think is the name of that pedal. Digitech BP80. I think they stopped making them. I'm not sure. And then Lola says one of her rubber strings broke last night. I have not had that issue. These are starting to fray slightly on certain areas near the nut. This is like practically 3 years old now at this point, these strings are. So most of the time, I think they'll last. Which kind of rubber strings do you have on there? Which polyurethane strings? So let us know in the comments, because I have a feeling the Pahoehoe may not last quite as long as these, but I'm not sure about that. So I just want to hear about it. So someone's looking at a fretless. Elvira's looking at fretless next, but incorporating the intonation fret buzz as instrumentation. Very cool. Yeah, so the fretless that I have here, even though it's an inexpensive one, there's something really nice about it, and it projects louder. I don't know what they did build-wise differently. Maybe it's a little bit thicker. I'm not sure, but it definitely projects really well. Oh, and thank you, James. I appreciate the compliment. It's good having people that want to see these videos, so I appreciate you guys. And Robert says, have you been playing any gigs lately? Most of them have been either private parties or wedding gigs. So I have played several weddings. I'd say I played like 29 last year, I think, believe it or not. People rescheduled them during March and April. They didn't really have any in April and none in May. But the end of June, I had one. And then July, I had a few all the way through the end of the year. And then I've had a handful this year, probably between 5 and 10 weddings this year. But not really any, not very many public gigs. Hopefully there'll be some more coming up soon. Lola says, I've had it for a few years and it was a secondhand instrument, so I don't know how long they were on there. And you don't know which strings those were. Okay. Yeah, I would just get 4 new strings. How about this? Are the strings black or are they kind of this cream color? And they're probably the Thunder Guts or the Nile Guts. So I'm guessing they're the Thunder Guts. So they're probably the same strings as these. Like I said, these are starting to fray, but I didn't really have that issue with these. So it may have just been the weather. If you take it from hot to dry environments, it's going to affect the strings, probably based on the material. So maybe someone did that before you had it. I'm not sure. And okay, you're getting the Aquila Thunder Reds. Nice. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about those strings. That's awesome. And James has a quick question. Reverb, yes or no for U bass or any bass for that? If I'm doing a solo thing with bass, then I'll add reverb. But if I'm putting it into a song, I would say no reverb. I put reverb on the other instruments, but not on bass. Upright bass might be a little bit differently if I'm using the bow. Reverb might sound kind of nice on that, but I would say no reverb. Seth says they are great, question mark. I think they are. I haven't actually played on them, but you said you liked them, right? And then James has the Thunder Black. Those are cool. Cool. Okay, well, Lola, let me know how you like them too. I'd like to get your opinion on those as well, just on a future live stream or something. All right, guys. Well, I'll probably put one of these polls up tonight to let you guys vote on the names. I might just go in order, just the random order that I did earlier. So thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. If you have any other questions, you can always leave them in the comments after the fact. And I will see you guys next Tuesday for the normal video, and I'll see you guys next Thursday for another live stream like this. All right. Thank you, Carter. Thank you, Seth. Thank you, everybody else. If I try to go through, I'll miss several because there were a lot of you guys that stayed on tonight, so I appreciate that. Oh, Seth had one more question. Are you a compression guy? I barely use compression. Every now and then I use compression on the recordings, but not live. Not very often at all. I don't have a pedal for it or anything. Oh, cool. So someone got this instrument. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. I liked putting the flat wound strings on there, but I can't recommend it just because mine work doesn't mean that the random one won't snap. You know what I mean? So it's worked fine so far, but we'll see. But thank you. I'm glad you like it, Sea Salt Lover. All right. Thank you, everybody else. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, and Elvira, I use some noise gates too some of the time to get some of the background fuzz out. All right. Have a good one. Bye, everybody. Thank you once again for tuning in.